Hi everyone, I'm Frankie Thieriot Stutes, and I am joined by course designer Derek di Grazia here at Rolex. And Derek, thanks for joining me. A beautiful course, always prepared for these riders, and it's going to be really exciting this year as usual. They'll leave from the start box. We're going to take you through some highlights, and then they're going to hope to make it through those finish flags as they do every year. And Derek, just real quick, a few highlights kind of what you think that will really stand out as combinations this year, especially for the public to watch.
Well, this year we've changed most of the combinations on the course, and after they jump the first fence, the flower box, they'll head to the picnic table and then onto the tricaner. Those three fences are going to really get the horses going into a rhythm before they come to the Mighty Moguls at 4. And I do think that 4 is going to be a fence that they'll really have to pay attention to. They'll have to get through there before they'll continue on to 5 and 6, which are again two more galloping fences before they come to the frog pond at 7AB. Once they leave the frog pond, they're going to gallop up out of the infield. They'll come to the market table, again a nice big galloping fence, and then on down to the ditch brush. The ditch brush every year, it's always on the course. It's a very big fence. It doesn't get any smaller. And they've got to jump it before they can come to the head of the lake.
We're here now at the head of the lake. This is always a fan favorite. Spectators will be packed around this whole complex. And Derek, take us through what riders will navigate here.
Well, first of all, coming across the road before the first fence here, they have to navigate just crossing the road and getting to that first fence. The first fence is a very big table with a bit of a drop on the back side of it, and then a very positive ride to the jump going into the water. After that, the fish that's in the water will come up quick, and then after that they have two fences to get out of the water here, and both of those are big brushes, and it's on a very positive riding distance. And so I think that all the way through here they're going to have to be very attacking and very much keeping their position and keeping their line.
Well, if things don't go according to plan, what are their options?
Well, there is an option, but it's only if they have a problem jumping into the water here. Otherwise, they basically have to keep going, and they got to, put their legs on and keep kicking.
Well, as I said, there will be tons of spectators here come Saturday, and that definitely does play a little bit of a factor with the horse's concentration.
Absolutely. The fact that when they do come across the road, there will be masses of people here, and I think it's one of the places on the course where they will truly experience this sort of crowd, and it does make a difference for some horses that haven't seen it before. As they come out of the head of the lake, they'll be thinking of their next fence, the whiskey barrel table, which should just get them back going again, and then on up the hill to the Teton rails. The Teton rails is a new combination this year. It's a vertical set of rails, and then they will continue on to a right-handed open corner, which is set at quite an angle, and I think that that's going to really make the riders think, because there is an option up there, but I think most will try the straightway the first time. Moving up to the top of the hill, they'll jump an Oxer before coming to the hollow at the top of the course.
Well, here at the hollow, Derek, first, just a little bit about the ground out here. It's going to play such a substantial role. It's more of a mountain after you come over than a hill, it appears.
Yeah, we've totally reconfigured this complex this year, and so after they jump over the cabin at the top of the slope, they have quite a steep slope down, and then again right away there's this brush which is right behind us, which they'll have to jump, and then looking to their left they'll have to go up the slope and out over the cabin. All of it, it's really, the riders have to really ride the ground here. It's really feeling what your horse is doing and being able to respond. After coming out of the hollow, they gallop down the hill, a nice galloping fence at the double brush, and then on to the Land Rover landing. The Land Rover landing this year has two very large chevron brushes. The first one's quite narrow, the second one is in the water and will require the utmost in accuracy. Coming out of the Land Rover landing, they'll head to the Footbridge, which will be a good gallop, and then on to the Normandy Bank at the top of the hill. Normandy Bank this year has been reconfigured. The jump up will be fine, but the jump off is quite a drop, and then right away a turn to the stump at the bottom, and then they'll gallop across the field to the Oxer and then to the Fox's Den. The Fox's Den will be a large double brush followed immediately by a moving 3 strides onto the left-handed corner, which will then bring them down to the park question at the bottom of the hill.
Well, here at the park question, it is the very end of the course. There will be some tired horses, some horses with some long strides, and they have a lot of work to do here, Derek.
Yes, the park question comes just after the 9-minute mark, and it's typically one of those questions we've had on the course before, this year without the ditch, and it's really using the terrain here, but also they have to keep their eyes up, they have to maintain their accuracy, and they have to really ride a good line here to get this done.
Well, that will be no easy feat, definitely. And there are some interesting ways that Derek is using the numbering here to limit, in some cases, the options that the riders have, or in some cases allow for options. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Well, the way it is numbered is that they can go directly from the A to the 2 brushes, but once they jump over the first brush, they really do have to go to the second brush. If they want to opt out of doing the brushes, they can make a right-handed turn right after the first jump and bend right to the 2 sod top cabins there, which will again get them through all of the letters. Galloping up the hill from the park question, they'll come to the stick pile, which will be a nice galloping fence, before coming to the water park, which will be their last water jump on the course. The water park has 2 nice boats that have been built for the event this year, which shouldn't prove a problem. However, they still are going to need to get it done. Moving on to the Wattle and Daub Cottage and then to the horse barns at 27A and B. They'll be glad to have those done before galloping down to the Lucky Horseshoe.
Well, this will be the fence every rider will be hoping to see at the end of the day, the Lucky Horseshoe number 28. And this horseshoe fence is the final fence on course. So, Derek, tell us what the time is here and what they'll be hoping to get on their watch.
Well, you know, the fence before this is the horse park barns at fence 27, and after they jump that fence, they'll be looking at their watches because they want to try to come inside the time of 11 minutes and 17 seconds.
Well, it's a little bit different, this fence that you've set up this year, more of a brush approach.
Absolutely. They do come flying down the hill after the fence before, and so when they do come to this, it'll be a little bit of a softer jump, and it should be something that should jump quite well for them.
Be sure to tune in Saturday for live action on the USEF network.